Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today I'm just walking through a new apartment complex. Well, it's not that new. It's a couple of years old. They date really quick here. Yeah, I might be a beer in my hand. But you see, that's one of the things that's sort of nice about China. You can walk around with a beer in your hand and nobody really gives a rat's ass, which is sort of nice. It's what, August the 20th, I think, and that's a guess, honestly. And it's about 32, 33 degrees with humidex about 37, so it's starting to cool down. Yeah, that is cool. From what it has been, summer times here are frickin' brutal, I'm telling you. But that's not what this video is about. You know, as an older fella, let's say, that cruises around places all over the world, I sort of see the difference in freedom around the world. And everybody thinks that China is this authoritarian country. China has its thumb on its people. The people aren't allowed to do this and they're not allowed to do that. It just, you know, see, that just doesn't make any sense. That comes from a government or governments around the world that want to make you think that way. And I don't know why. I think what they want to do is they want you to be mentally against China because China is a threat to them. And why is China a threat to these countries around the world? Well, because these countries around the world used to be the big boys on the block, and they can see that China is going to be the big boy on the block in time, and it scares the hell out of them, and it should scare the hell out of them. When you've treated a country like China with 1.4 billion people like shit for the last 200 years, and now it's starting to be the big guy, you know, it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger or the Rock of the block type thing. Well, yeah, it's time to, you know, if you get a chance to knock it down and make it so it's not so strong before it gets really, really strong, well, that's exactly what you're going to do, because that big boy is going to come and kick your ass down the road sometime, isn't he? Because you've been treating him like shit for so long and that's their mentality. They think, holy fucking moly, man, if China ever gets to be the United States power type house of the world, how are they going to deal with us because of the way we dealt with them over the last 200 years? Scary thought, eh? And but I think it's too late for that. This COVID-19 thing and the economic downturn has basically just shut down every chance that they've had at dealing with this in a proper manner, in a quick manner. And I'm getting looked at over my shoulder. I know it just happens all the time because I'm so gorgeous. Yeah, right. No, it's because I'm carrying my beer in my hand. No, actually, they don't really care about that. It's just in this area of Nanning, I'm probably the only white person within, wow, this area of Nanning. Oh, damn, that's good. I like beer. I'm not looking at that pretty girl because she has a boyfriend. Anyway, you know, so when you're looking at how people are treated, it's the same for countries. It's the same for companies. If you grow up with somebody and they're the fat boy, yes, and you treat him like shit when he's small and stuff. And you're the bigger one, you're the older, you're the bully on the block. You're not looking down the road because that fat boy could turn into a 375-pound hulking piece of muscle, and he might come along and kick your friggin' ass. And that's exactly what China's turning into, is that big muscle-bound kid. Same thing with the company. Well, I'm not going to do business with you because you're not big enough. You're just a little thing. But then that company turns into a big company, and you go, oh shit, now what have I done? Same thing with countries. If this country is a third world country with no money and you know, rice farmers and fishermen, you say, well, we can take advantage of that country, we can do whatever we want with that country, but you're not looking down the road 100 or 200 years when that country turns into something like mainland China is now. Holy smokes, life has changed. And they know that. And now they're doing damage control, but that damage control is a little bit too little, a little bit too late, just for the fact that they didn't understand what was coming at them over the last 30 years. China has grown in the last 30 years. This freaking country is amazing, and you can see by just looking around behind me and stuff like that. It just the sheer infrastructure. Oh, I guess not on that side, because you think, but like the sheer infrastructure of just neighborhoods. Like neighborhoods here aren't little houses running along a street with little white picket fences. Neighborhoods here are 30, 40-story high-rise apartment buildings, but not one of them. There could be 15, 20, or 30 in one complex, and the bottom, 2, 3 floors, just like you see around here, the bottom 2, 3 floors are all businesses. So you don't have to get in your car, drive to the mall to go get your stuff. You go downstairs to get your stuff. The restaurants, the stores, all of the shops, everything that you would ever need or want is at your fingertip. It's just more well laid out than what the Western world has done. And that's Chinese ingenuity for you. They look and they say, well, geez, we can do better. It's starting to rain here. We can do better. And they actually did. When the West was beating them down, they just put their head down and just kept working. When the West said you couldn't, they did. When the West took Hong Kong, they said, yeah, okay, we'll wait 100 years. We'll get stronger during that 100 years and we'll take it back. When the West took advantage over and over of the Chinese people, not just in China but around the world, the Chinese people just sort of put their head down and knew one day that they would be as strong, as educated, and as understanding as any other society around the world. And folks, today is the day. It has happened. This has got to be one of the strongest, well-run countries in the world. They have an economy that is second to none. They have infrastructure that is second to none. The population, the education, just everything. Could they get better? Oh, definitely. Talked about old folks' homes. They could do better there. Talking about hospitals and training doctors. They could do better there. Talking about cleanliness of food. They could do better there. There's a lot of things that they could do better on. But you know what? Knowing the Chinese people, it isn't going to be long before all of these things are taken care of too, because that's what they do. They take care of stuff. When they see that there's a problem, they address it, they fix it, and then they move on. They don't debate it for the next 20 or 30 freaking years. The boys at the top of the Communist Party of China, yes, those guys, they say, fix this. And the people that are supposed to fix it actually do. And if they don't, they get their asses fired and they hire somebody else to go in there and do it for them. And that's the way the world works here. It's not, well, let's talk about this for 20 or 30 years and nothing ever gets done. Like, high-speed trains in California come to mind. Obamacare, healthcare, universal healthcare, all of these things in the United States, and it's just still talk. So now that China is in a position that it's in, how are they going to treat you as an American? How are they going to treat your American country? How are they going to treat the Canadians, the Australians, the people in New Zealand? How are they going to treat the people that treated them bad? Well, I think that you guys get a pass on this, because the Chinese don't have that in them. They don't think that way. They don't take advantage in that way. If you want to work with this country, they will still say, yeah, okay, be my friend. That's the way that they roll. I don't know why. As a Canadian, as a white Canadian person, I would be so vindictive. I would want to castrate your ass. But they're not like that here. They want to be accepted. And even though they are the economic power, especially in this area of the world, but they did bail out the United States in 2008. Although they are a military power, although they are like a real superpower to be dealt with, they still have humility, they still have understanding, they still understand what it's like to be shit on by the rest of the world. So when they look at other countries wanting help or wanting to be their friend, work together, kumbaya type shit, they're still willing to do that. And I find that exhilarating. I find that is something that you're not going to find in too many other countries, just for the fact that China's different. China is a good place. The Chinese people are excellent people, and yes, and that's all I have to say about that. And that, my friends, is another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I wonder if people actually watch this at the end, because I basically say the same thing over and over and over again. I wonder if I should change that. Tell me in the description below, when it gets to this point, do you just go click, okay, I'm done? Or do you watch it through to the end? Anyway, never forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Poor rural Chinese children. And slam that subscribe button, because I could use a couple more subscribers. Thanks for watching. Bye now.